In today's video, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin because we're finally starting to see a little bit of a breakout today, which, is kind of exciting just because we have seen weeks of just sideways, boring movement. So it's finally nice to see a little bit of movement to the upside here. So we're going to get into all of that in today's video. And I want to start out here with really the daily time frame, looking back to see where Bitcoin has come over the last few weeks. And obviously we know that we had the December 4th liquidation event back here. And ever since that time, this trend line off of the April high has actually served as support. Okay, so this is what has supported Bitcoin here over the past few weeks. And if we move in here, there are a few things I want to tell you about the current breakout, or potential breakout, I should say. And the very first thing is, this trend line extends off of the all-time high, which was $69,000 even, not strange at all. But anyway, so this extends off of the all-time high up here. And right now, this level comes in at $50,000. So with Bitcoin trading at around $50,600 right now, it needs to close the day above $50,000 to confirm this breakout, okay? That is the most important thing about this. I see a lot of people talking about, Bitcoin has broken out right now, and the fact is that it has not. It needs to close the day at 7 p.m. Eastern above $50,000. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the lack of volume here. And while this isn't really it's not a deal breaker, it doesn't mean that Bitcoin won't break out or it won't hold on to this breakout. It does mean that there's a little bit less conviction in this move. And that's to be expected because we are in the holiday season. So naturally, we're not going to see a lot of volume here in the market with Christmas just a couple of days away. All right, so if you look at the volume here over the last few weeks, you can see that we've had this steady decline in the volume. Now, today's not over, but it would be very strange to see today's volume, peak even above these days back here. So as of right now, the volume is a little bit lighter, and remember that volume equals conviction. So the less volume you have in a move, the less conviction there is, okay? So lower volume today, it's not great, but it's not a deal breaker. So Bitcoin could still close above 50,000, in which case you're gonna wanna keep an eye on this area up here between $53,000 and $54,000. So this is the area that we've talked about now a few times, and this is one that Bitcoin has to get back above to see 60,000, 70,000, etc. And until that time, really guys, we are just in a range. Okay, so if Bitcoin closes above 50,000 today, that would confirm the breakout, and then 53 to 54 would be the next test for buyers. Now, before we go on, let me tell you what I'm going to do with Bitcoin, because I do like what I'm seeing today, even though the volume is a little bit on the light side. But before that, speaking of like, if you guys can show me that you enjoy this content by hitting that like button below, I would really appreciate it. It does help me out a lot. It shows me that you guys enjoy this content. So speaking of what I'm doing with Bitcoin, if we get a close above 50,000 today, I may go ahead and entertain a long position, at least a very small one to start out with. And with the idea that if we then get continuation and a close above 53, 54 over the coming days, I would go ahead and add more there. So I'm all about dollar cost averaging on moves like this. I never go in with my entire position. So, if we get a close above this area here, 50,000, as I said, I may go ahead and start with a small long position from that area with the idea of adding the rest of it up here above 53 to 54. And I would then go ahead and take a little bit off up here at 60 if that level comes. Now, let's also talk about this liquidation candle down here, because I made a video recently where we talked about how in 2021, Bitcoin has never, formed this liquidation candle and not filled in the wick. So as of right now, if Bitcoin were to just take off and close above 53 to 54 up here, then it would really be the first time that Bitcoin hasn't filled in that wick this year. It's happened about 5 other times. So that alone is a little bit concerning. And, it's the reason why if I do buy Bitcoin today, if it closes above 50,000, that I'm not going to go in with a large position size, especially again with the holidays here. I'm not really going to do much trading or even investing until the new year. So ultimately, I would love to buy Bitcoin in the $40,000 to $42,000 area, but there's no guarantee that we do get that. And if Bitcoin does close above 50 and also 53 to 54, then, like I said, we're probably looking at 60,000, potentially even a move back toward the $70,000 region, if it can get above both of these areas. So 53, 54 and $60,000. So, in summary, The market is starting to break out today. However, we need to close above 50,000 by 7 p.m. Eastern. So if Bitcoin does not manage to do that and it closes below 50,000 at today's close at 7 p.m. Eastern, then we do not have a confirmed breakout. All right, so close above 50,000, confirmed breakout. If not, then that area right around 50,000 is going to remain as resistance. And if that were to happen, then I would be looking at something where potentially maybe we get a rotation lower down here into the support region, or like I've been saying for the past few days, maybe we get that fill down here around $40,000 to $42,000. Okay, so that's if we don't close above 50 today, but if so, then Bitcoin has confirmed the breakout, albeit on light volume. So things are looking a little bit more bullish today, guys, but stay a little bit cautious just because the volume is lower due to the holiday season. So I hope that this has helped you guys. And again, if you enjoy this content, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave your comment below. And I will talk to you guys soon.